God, somebody's gonna see my password if I do this. Oh Jesus. Oh no, it's not. Yes, it's me, Google. All right. Continue. I'm signed in. Not now. Okay. Man, I tell you what, I'm a little less excited than I was about 20 minutes ago, but nonetheless, I'm here. And the reason I'm less excited is because I went through an entire stream and my microphone was off. Go figure. Another thing I didn't have was a bottle of water, which I didn't realize I would need. I got very parched halfway through. And like anything else, when you're not properly set up, I also wasn't signed in to see if there was anybody in the chat. Things are unorganized. But here I am back again. I got my eggs boiling as it is approximately, actually just about to be 7 a.m. in my time zone. And I somewhat committed. I guess I'm saying it out loud. But the reason I'm here today is because I wanted to talk about the journey to 1,000 hours. I think that what I've been able to learn, the process I've been on, the endeavors I've been embarking on, the realizations of life that have been presented to me and have revealed themselves that I so feel inclined to share with you for a lot of reasons. And the sincerest of reasons that I want to share what I believe I am learning and what I believe I have learned, and there's so much more there is to learn, is because I genuinely like the idea of helping people. I work in a customer service driven field. I work in a people and process field. I've managed, I mean, at this point, thousands of people in my career. I didn't realize the joy. Like, look, the reason I went into management was because it pays more. That's just the truth. I come from a very humble background financially. So I grew up as probably as about as poor as one can grow up in Western culture, poverty culture. I'm from the projects in the South Bronx. I have been exposed to that level of difficulty, and that's difficult. It's a difficult life, that life. But I reference it to say that certainly my desire to reach the levels I've reached professionally had a monetary rationale and logic to it. But what I truly have found as I've grown in my space and career, that I realized as I've gone through the coaching and have been coached, is I really thoroughly enjoy watching people succeed. I also love to succeed. And so when you combine that, the reality that I genuinely want to see people win, and I also want to win. I make no mistake and no hesitations about saying it out loud. I'm looking for something in return. I think that that's fair. Why wouldn't I? Do I expect something in monetary value similar to what I have in my career? I think there's a natural instinct to say that what I'm doing here, I hope at some point covers the bills. It needs to return a certain level of monetary investment for that to become a reality. But what I wanted to share as I'm endeavoring out and trying to make this a reality, the reality of possibly extending myself to help you and then help me in the process, is that is I think a natural evolution of of us being humans, of us having emotions, of us being what I believe is the essence of God, which is all, which is why not give back? It feels good to give back, and it feels good to know that people are making progress, and maybe you had a hand in it. In any event, making whatever it is you want to make a reality with your life. I think as a preface, also in this space, coaching, self improvement, community building, sort of becoming a face and a symbol of possibility. There's the reality that comes with not everyone wants to do something this specific or something this visible, nor is anyone and everyone destined to. Because if we all were, then it wouldn't be what it was. The way whatever it is you're trying to do wouldn't be what it was. Everything isn't for everybody, but there's something for everybody. And whatever that something is, setting aside or maybe leveraging in some capacity, the return of freedom in life that comes with, let's say, money. Everybody has a number. My number's my number, your number's your number. Some people need a few 100,000, some people need a few million, right? Some people need a few 100 million in order to achieve the level of freedom that they're looking for. And in that way, as we begin to turn into a new year, as this very socially acceptable space comes to the forefront and goals become very, very visible the way they do at this time of year, what I would return to you as a possibility would be whatever it is you're looking to do, it requires time. That should be obvious. And maybe I'm overstating the obvious. But at some point, if you find yourself aligning or trying to align with similar goals to what you've had previously, repeating a lot of the same goals, but you haven't really gotten there, then it's likely you haven't given yourself enough time, right? And I think that's the biggest takeaway I've learned in my journey, these few years I've been on, the journey I've been on. Yes, I've accomplished some things physically. Yes, I've accomplished some things professionally, spiritually, relationally that are tangible and feel good. But the biggest thing I've learned again is, do you have 1,000 hours in you for this year? Can you find 1,000 hours? And I know how that sounds. I know that might seem ambitious. I know it immediately starts to compress your life schedule. If you're like me and you have a very standard human living, you eat, excuse me, you sleep for a certain amount of hours, you work for a certain amount of hours, and that's probably 2/3 of your day already. Very traditional. If you're like me, you're engaged in a relationship, you have a spouse, you have some children. That compresses your time. So where are we getting 1,000 hours? You reach a point in your life, like me, when I'm going to be 44, where some things, I don't know that they should go unsaid or they become pretty obvious, but you're already compromising something today or compromising for something, and that compromise you're compromising for is compromising you in other ways. And so what that means in some basic math is there's going to be sacrifice. There's going to be some things that you have to let go of. It's addition by subtraction. If I want to give myself 1,000 hours, what am I taking 1,000 hours away from? Time, the way it's built for us, only gives us but so much of a window, right? And then the requirement to continue to live our lives, because whatever it is you're looking to do is probably not going to be full time for you, at least not for now. Because if it is full time, then 1,000 hours is nothing, right? You put in more that you put in well more than that over the course of every year that you are in your career, whatever that career is. All right, cool. With this being New Year, a lot of us probably was celebrating, and that's fine. Not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm not telling you what you should or you should. I would really never say what you should or shouldn't do in any capacity. But the reality is, if you're celebrating, well, then you're compromised there, and you're compromising the possibility of growing in another area. If if you are sacrificing to be in certain friendships and have certain hobbies, and you do them at night or in the morning, you continue to do that, well, that return on investment is that return on investment. So I say all that to say, how will you shrink your time? Where can you get back 1,000 hours? The obviousness of this is you likely got to go to sleep a lot earlier than you are right now, which means you got to wake up a lot earlier than right now. Yes, that might be 4 o'clock for some of us. Some of us need to get up by 6. Whatever it is, you got to find the time to give yourself back the time. It's a really, really, I think, plain idea and concept, and one that I hope to help you through by doing what I'm doing right now, right? I just took 20 minutes to record with a microphone off. I'm about to hit 11 minutes here. That's 31 minutes, right? I've already put in 30 minutes of prayer and meditation. I've done some reading. I've done my cardio. I'm going to go lift. I got my eggs cooking. It's 7 o'clock, right? Yes, I went to bed on New Year's Eve at 10 o'clock last night. Yes, that's a sacrifice. Yes, that sucks in a lot of ways. But yes, it's beneficial in a lot of ways because I'm dedicated to myself. And so I'll keep coming on here. I don't have a rigid plan. I don't think I don't have a rigid expectation for outcomes. Something I think we should talk about as far as some of us might be thinking about a number on a scale, a number we need to make, etc. I think those are important, but really, I want to dedicate the time to exposing myself for whatever it's worth, for as long as it feels good to expose myself, and as long as the universe keeps opening up this path for me, I'll make myself available. I'll share whatever I can share, inclusive of what I do with my 1,000 hours, as much of as I can make it available to you. I'm considering doing some live sessions of deep work when I do my script writing because I can't get away from, not that I can't, I don't want to get away from my standard uploads, which I've committed to. I'm going to do at least 48 episodes of the Do You Rules podcast this year. And I'm getting an error on my YouTube feed. All good. Point being, I intend to. Let me see. He's not receiving enough video to mainstream to streaming. Maybe my video stream sucks. Okay. I may or may not have stopped streaming, but let me close it. I'll do as much as I can to script out this journey with you, for you, and through me, for whatever's worth. We'll keep doing us. We're gonna make this the year of 1,000 hours. At least I think we are. Right? Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.